Greetings, everyone. Welcome. We're going to jump into a premiere draft of Zendikar Rising today. Thank you for joining me. Look, I can view my card pool. What? I just didn't notice this button before. I see. That's interesting. How long has that been there? I've just not noticed it. But apparently, you get to look at all the cards in the draft. That's interesting. I wonder if this helps newer players. Let me get out of the way for just a second to show you what I'm talking about. There's this, that's not even helpful either here. This view card pool button was something I didn't notice, and in the middle of my little opening spiel, just saw it and was like, huh, what's that about? Anyway, we'll jump back here. It is part of this new, well, sometimes something can be in the UI for like months, and I just, because my eyes don't go to it or whatever, so I never know if it's brand new or I just haven't been noticing it. So interesting. I like to look at, because I always talk about how every change you make is such an argument, is such a choice, because there's so much QA and everything involved in changes that I wonder how they arrived at showing people the full set that you're about to draft ahead of time. Like, is that, I'm curious if it works. Maybe it's going to get people to draft the format who wouldn't have it otherwise, because they can look and get excited about the cards. Maybe it's almost a legal thing of like, here's what's, I don't know. It's an interesting choice, because everything is so hard to get cleared to do. Anything that gets done, I just wonder, how did that win the argument, you know? So anyway, if you want to win the argument for best Magic retailer on the internet, you're going to have to argue against Card Kingdom if you're going to debate me on the subject, because they're my go-to. I start there every time I need something for my physical game, whether it's supplies, singles, or sealed product. I know I can get it at Card Kingdom, and I know if they don't have it, they're trying to get it, and I know if they're trying to get it and I have it, I should sell it to them, because they give me better money for that than literally anybody else out there. I don't think that you can be someone who engages in the secondary Magic marketplace buying singles for your tabletop experiences and just stick to one store. That doesn't seem realistic. There's a lot of unique, rare cards out there that are tough to find, and not every place is going to have it every time. But I do just encourage you to keep Card Kingdom on your radar, keep them high on your list, and give them a chance to win your business when you need something for your Magic game. And remember to get there from my affiliate links, whether it's in the notes of my YouTube videos, in the panels down below, in the stream, or in the chat here as I spiel. That lets them know you got there from here and helps keep me on the air, helps them keep them happy with what I'm doing here. And then we can all keep drafting together, which is what we all want, right? At least it's what I do. I'm gonna hop here, move to draft view now, and see what we can get. Boy, room to improve is a D+ for Rob. I give Rob's grading a D-. We've got Ondu Inversion. If we want to, basically a 9-mana sweeper, because this is one of your lands, and then you need 8 other ones. But it's powerful. It does some things no other card in the set does. If we don't take that, what are we doing? We've got a Rabid Bite. We've got a Stinger. Jinx likes the Stinger. Jinx is a rogue, though, so attracted to his own kind, I believe. What's Jinx? What do you think is the best archetype in the format? I'm curious where, like, what do you think is the best, and where do you end up the most? Stinger is a totally legit pick, though. This is a good card. Vastwood Surge is, but I would take, if I'm taking one of these green cards, I'm taking the removal. Yeah, if I'm taking a green card, I think I'm just taking the removal. I think it is probably the Stinger or the Bite. I'm gonna go with Bite. There's Better removal here. Lithoforming. This is interesting. We could take Brushfire Elemental and try to wheel the rare and go Lithoform Landfall. I don't think I want to do that, though. Yeah, it's tempting to just go Brushfire Elemental because we took a Rabid Bite, but I actually don't think this card is that good. I don't want to take it here. If I'm going to take another green card, I'd just take the Colony over the Brushfire Elemental. I think this is a better pick if we were to take a green card. But Vanquish is popping out at me. Vial is interesting early. I think I would rather have the Vanquish. This goes in one deck. This goes in lots of decks. So I'm going to take Vanquish. It's just, I'm just going to take the removal and see where we land. This doesn't mean we're headed towards green-black per se. It just means I'm taking the good cards I'm seeing here. And to that end, we're taking Falconer here as, to me, the clear best card in the pack. Marauding Light Priest is excellent if you're doing the Cleric thing especially. But I think Falconer is the pick here. We're just waiting to see what's open. Doing pretty good, Funk. Thank you. Hope you're doing all right. What's the best card in the abstract here? Grotag Night Runner, maybe the Plunder. We could take Night Runner and just completely broaden our possibilities. Plunder is solid enough, but yeah, strike. To me, it's this corner here. More removal, card draw, or just a solid creature. These are solid creatures as well, but this has card advantage built in. And yeah, I'm not as big a Plunder fan as well because of the common kicker card draw that you can get instead. Probably not worth moving to a fourth color when we have a Subtle Strike, but I am wondering if the Diviner is appropriate. We can take the Strike. It's good removal. I agree that Plunder is just not a priority in general. Goma Fata is interesting, but we don't have any of that going on yet. Takedown is also strong. Like, now the two best cards in the pack seem like they're red and white. Windrider goes along with Falconer, but is, to me, kind of just whatever. Visionary been called for. Which wizard? We got a Looter Wizard and Card Draw Wizard. We have seen lots of green. And yeah, what did people take out of this? Well, there's a rare missing. A lot of commons, though, right? Interesting. Kitty, interesting. Yeah, I'll take the wizard. It seems like narrowly the best card there. We could take a Mind Carver, potentially getting into blue-black rogues. Tactics, Spellcraft. Red and white are... nothing has been, like, super open. They haven't been great. They've just been... Yeah. Survivor is an option. Green Cleric called for. I have a hard time taking the Ascetic here. I would take the Survivor before the Ascetic, just because it's a 5-drop that we don't need to prioritize, I don't think. I'm going to take the Survivor. Deliberate's not fine to me. Not like it's playable, but I'm not prioritizing them at all. If they fall in my lap, I'll take it. We could take a Stalker here. I do like a Stalker as a finisher. There's a second Survivor, but Stalker is just good. I think at pick 7, it's maybe not like a signal, but I'm pretty happy to get this at this pick. Balaged, Recovery, and Diviner, and Geyser Mage, and Chilling Trap all point to more of a potentially blue-green. The Spland is good, but so are all of these. So this is a signal, but so are these. And in our first pack, we took Rabid Bite and passed a bunch of green. I'm curious to see how much green is going to be. Yeah, I'm going to take this because I am expecting green out of the next pack as well. If there's not a lot, if there's like no green here, there's not a ton actually. I'm a little disappointed with how much green is left. And the presence of the Skulker makes me want to take Skulker over Might, but maybe I'm wrong about that. Yeah, 2 Horn Beetles, but if you're in black-green, this is fine, but outside, yeah, we can take it if you think we might get 2 in a row, and maybe we do that thing. I guess nothing, these are all fine. Might, Skulker, and Drain are fine, but if we did get 2 in a row, yeah, so we didn't get the other one. I'm going to take the Skulker here, though. Yeah, got it. We're a little Sultai here, but not sure what we're doing. Dreadworm, another replaceable 5. I'm going to take the first Might over first Dreadworm. Fine, but replaceable. That's the thing. Both of these are, but we're at the end of a pack, not expecting to see a ton of great stuff. Another Might. We're seeing playable red still be here. Second Might or possible backdoor into red. I'm going to take the red card just because I don't think we need a second Might in the first pack. Look, there is some openness here, so cutting green. Like if passing this Might put my neighbor into green, goodness, then I guess I'll take that risk. Well, we are open enough to be able to just say, hey, we could pivot to this. It's awfully strong. We have a Skulker here. We're probably wheeling this rogue, but we could move in on the Lull Mage. I think this is good enough to take, at least to look to splash. So I'm going to cut the red. I think what this says to me is there's no way we're going to pivot to red at this point. We're going to take Zareth and then see if we're black-blue or green-blue splash black or green-black splash blue. All of those are still on the table, which is why I think this is the correct pick. Yeah, we do have some rogue support too, and you don't even need it. If you have it, great, but you don't even need it for this to be fine. We got a Pack Beast, another Rabid Bite, the Weenie Wrath, which is not very good, and I don't think we want it because it goes against what our emerging plan is here, which is to drop some rogues that get Zareth through. Pack Beast is a rogue, so I do think it's Bite or Pack Beast. We have one Bite already. You think this could be a Verdict deck? Maybe I'm not giving this enough of a chance, but when I have stuff that is working directly with our plan, it's far more appealing to me than a parody Wrath, you know? Yeah, Pack Beast is safest. That's true. It is guaranteed to make the deck. I'm going to take Pack Beast. Guaranteed to make the deck. Then we get ourselves a little familiar. Have a Subtle Strike. We could just take the Strike, but Familiar is good enough, and this is splashable enough that I think we should take the Familiar. Could splash Zareth in a Vanquish here. But continuing to... Jinx... All right, I'll prove you wrong, buddy. I don't know why you wouldn't think this is splashable. This is hyper splashable. Into the Royal... Boy, I keep seeing Aura when it's not my time. But Deadly Alliance here as well. I guess we're now asking ourselves, you know, this is a fundamental, what are we? Because Royal says we're heavy blue. Alliance could be splashed. But I guess I ran out of time and took the Royal. That was really, really a tough one for me. I think I hear, when I hear what you're saying, Jinx, I hear you saying that the splash is better. But the idea that you couldn't splash this if you didn't have heavy rogues or something is kind of silly. Like, of course you can play this without heavy rogues. It's just not as good. I'm totally with you that it's not as good. Scion, also not as good if you're not doing a ton of life gain stuff. We should probably just take the ambush here. Ambush, and try to see about that less than awesome, but still fine splash. What don't you get, True? That this is here? Wow, Falconer's still here. Visionary's still here. We can just take this one, but I think, yeah, we don't have anything going on at 4. We're not going to play this Beetle, though, so I would rather take another 5. Diviner can be our foray into 4 drops. Foray. Scion, Gloomhunter suggesting a possibility we could still be heavier black. Well, let's get to the end of the draft before we worry about whether we're splashing Xerath or not. How about that? Another Pack Beast. I think I'm going to take that over Vision or Grasp, which I like both of these for this deck. But Pack Beast is at the right spot in the curve. We're not going to play all these. You know, if we're splashing black or not playing black, we're definitely not running those. I definitely want to add to my my 2s. Florahedron is fine. Don't think we're playing any of these. We're best of 1, so a Negate's not doing anything for us. Never going to play the Hunger. I'll go with Vault Progress. Broken Wings as a possible main deck over another Might. I don't think I'm going to run 2 Mights. I guess, though, if we get hard into the Kicker deck and don't find our Kicker cards, we might want the Might, so I'll do that. I'm never playing supplies. I can't imagine how I'd end up in supplies in this deck. Well, we're talking about splashing already. Is this worth splashing? Couple of Pack Beasts. Probably not. If we do splash at all, which we're not even sure we're going to do yet, probably wouldn't splash 2. Not much going on here, though. For our deck, we could take... Yeah, look at this. The only green card's a Stomper. Ouch. Calls for the Stinger. If we're taking Stinger, it means we think we might be heavy black again. The pick for the deck is probably Stomper. But I'll take Stinger on Hedge. We don't need to take Gem. I mean, if we were not Gem independent, I would slam the rare there. That is absolutely a great time to rare draft. Rogueland is interesting, but we got the Arbor Mage. For those of you, a lot of you seem to be still leaning to black. I do not think we are a black deck. If anything, we splash a little bit of it, but I think we're pretty clearly blue-green, so need to be focusing on that. I think people pulling towards black are maybe wanting to be black still, and I don't think we are. Maybe we are. I mean, I did take this the Stinger because there was so little going on in that pack that it was okay, but I think this is a pretty clear Arbor Mage pick here. And then we got Royal Mage or Land Wizard here, or Deadly Alliance again on that splash. That's true. A black flip land is quite playable if we're splashing black, but I'm just going to focus in on the blue-green here, and then we'll see where the black lands. Wizard doesn't like the green, wants to go blue-black. Well, It's been a very certainly drafting the hard way here, and now certainly now we've got a tempting deadly alliance and a field research that would be the generic blue, like, because if for sure we're blue, we could take this. But yeah, I think now I got to just take the deadly alliance. Yeah, deadly alliance was the question mark in the last pack, whether or not we were splashing or not. But what did we take over the alliance? Yeah, I was fine with the Arbor Mage over alliance there. And so you got another Falconer, another Recovery, Rabid Bite. I think we have only just the one bite. We could just take another Falconer. If we think we're dropping, we could drop green, then we need to consider another. But we had a lot going on at 5. Yeah, I'm gonna get Balaged. We're a lot of opinions from chat. Tough to navigate this one perfectly, but now do we want a Sentinel? I think we want a Sentinel. Look at this red, a ton of red. There's a Cascade Seer, but Sentinel I like a little better. Yeah, if we do the black, we have the Subtle Strike for Sentinel. It's true. We'll take a Stomper here over Baloth. We got enough splans that I like the Stomper if we're going to do that. Might wheel one on pick 9, but we'll see. People like the Baloth there. I took Stomper because of our splan count. We have a pretty high splan count, especially in the green. You know, getting back these ambush and recovery would be really nice. Pack Beast wheels for us, incredible. Oh, it doesn't wheel, it's pick 8. Relic could help us actually splash, but I think we just take Pack Beast. Don't really have the, we kind of need this, like, we actually didn't really end up with the splash tools in green besides the splans. And I know I could have taken that one. I just felt like Pack Beast is still more important. Well, maybe we just have enough to... Oops. Maybe Mind Drain could have worked there, I suppose. Snarecaster, maybe. It's a rogue. Yeah, Pack Beasts do help with the splash. It's not a great... Would you want a Subtle Strike or another Sentinel? Huh. I'll take the Strike and see here. What a weird draft, and I don't even know where we're at. It's very rare that I'm at the last picks of a draft, and I don't even know what two colors, base colors I'm at yet, but we have a lot, we have options. And then a Seer, sure. Well, the question is, do we splash at all? Because if we splash, we're talking about splashing off of Pack Beast filtering, which is not the best way to do it. Let's assume for a second that we were not splashing and just take a look at what our decks even look like without splashes. So if we said, not going to splash black, just going to play blue-green. What does that even look like? So there's blue-green. Lot of splans in this one to the point that might not even have the playables to just be blue-green. Might have to splash if we did this. Because we have 1, 2, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. We kind of want to go 21, 20, 19, and then find... Like, so then we'd be looking at being kind of 2 cards short from being happy, but we could run something like Snarecaster in that spot, or Yeah, even the horn beetle. Oh, utility knife? Ugh, what are you doing in here? Get out of here. Did my... Oh, it reset these. I'm like, wait, what happened? And then let's take a look at straight. So straight green, blue looks like it would be missing. You know, we really have to be running something like a horn beetle that's not doing anything, or a solidarity that's really underwhelming, or just be heavy land. I mean, you can just have a lot of splans, you know, be heavy lands and try to value the stompers. Well, if we're splashing, again, if we're splashing black without the means to fetch a swamp, it really makes me feel like that's not the path. I would rather do the green splash, doing the whole thing where you're splashing based on the splans themselves. So yeah, we're getting there, Jinx. Hold on. Let's look at Dimir next. We got, oops, I didn't mean to do that, obviously. Trying out Dimir. Really, it seems like Dimir gets us... let's get this suggested so it looks... We know what we're working with on the land front. Also coming up short here, it looks like. So we drafted the hard way into a hard situation because we don't... Doesn't look like we have a clean two-color deck. And now... we don't have the tools to splash. So if I'd found, this would be all okay if I'd prioritized or found a right spot to take a green fixing spell. Yeah, we can. I really don't like leaning on creatures to splash. They're fragile. This is somewhat of a creature that people are looking to kill anyway. But we're in a spot where I think we have to. We've taken a look. I mean, I guess we should look at our final... There's no way we have a black, green, splash, blue option, right? Like, we've got to be main blue here because we got these falconers that we got to play. So it's clearly got to be base blue, black, or base blue, green. If we go... I was thinking about that too, because the thing is the ambush and the recovery Florahedron is not real. Like, this is a terrible splash. Like this is a terrible splan to play on a splash because it's really, you need, for it to be worth playing over a forest, you need a really good chance of playing it as a 1/1 on 2. It's not better than a forest if you're splashing. I disagree. True, because you need the in order to do the thing that where this is good, you need specifically one of your other green sources to even make it happen. Like, this is only good because of what it can be on turn 2, maybe turn 3. And then but we could play like the Rabid Bite in that spot and still feel okay about it, or even the Arbor Mage as a late game finisher. Yeah, don't worry about the lands themselves yet. Yeah, maybe. I'm just looking at what's possible to splash if we are splashing green. But I think I do like the Arbor Mage splash. But we don't need the Rabid Bite if we're playing the black, because if we're playing main black, because that's bringing us some removal anyway. Stomper is interesting. And how are we doing? This is funny. But now if we guess, I think maybe we'd leave one forest in this case even. I know you can splash on just these, but yeah, our mana is definitely going to be hard. Yeah, the trouble is, so it encourages us to use our splans, but then if we one green splan that we've played as a land, and then we use it to cast the Stomper and return it back to hand, how are we even casting it then? If we get 2, then we're talking. But it's partly why I kind of want to run a forest. No green to kick Arbor Mage. Yeah, it would not be splashable if it had green in the kicker. What about Florahedron? I was saying I think this is a bad splash. I think we need at least 1 Jinx, but I think I can live with 1 here. And then, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. This is 18 land. Boy, so this is having a rough time having playables as well. I don't think splashing the familiar makes sense. It's like splashing ramp, or, splashing fixing. Yeah, I think you're right, Funk. I think we have to add the bite. And we could add a Stomper if we play another forest. Or we could just add the Stomper. But then I do think we want... this is rough. Look at our black. What, we're trying to do this on 6 swamp? I don't think so. I think we need to add swamps, if anything. I think this needs another swamp. And probably cut the Rabid Bite and just... I think we just add another forest, actually. I think we need to really think of these as spells, and they're good enough to be thought of that way. Spells that are emergency lands. So I think we have to have 7 swamps, and even that's low, right? We're trying to get Skulkers down on 2. 7 is low. 8 is low for blue even, but we can't, we can't be 22 lands. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. This is 20, and I think that's okay. We could go, let's back off on a forest and add an 8th swamp. Now we have 8/8/1 plus some green things that can be lands if we don't have the splash capability. So I think this now feels a lot better to me. And also, well, Jinx, don't forget the Packwork Beasts, okay? Like, if this was it, I'd be as concerned as you are, but we do have 3 Pack Beasts ready to help us play an expensive splash card. I say expensive because the filtering means it's going to cost 1 more, but we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sources of green, really. So, yeah, I think you're too worried then, Jinx, if you were really counting the beast. And also because if we can't cast our splashes, then we're playing them as land anyway, and it's fine. Stomper of Seer is interesting. I could get behind that, although then we're back into me wanting another forest, which is my problem. Let's see, if we were to play another forest and risk a swamp, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna cut that swamp. I'm gonna do the swamp trick where we... Actually, did anybody redeem lands? Do we have any? We did. So, Bolus Horns for hat? Sure. Oh, good. We even have a Bolus Horn version to use for this test. Good choice. That's true. Better do that before I forget. And then Bolus Horns. Get this one. And then I want this one and this one. I think we only want 1 forest. And I'm just trying to figure out what the rest of the configuration ought to be given that. But then we wanted 7 of those, and then 7 of these, and then 1 swamp that could be a second forest and a cascade seer that could be a stomper. Like, I think if I were to, this is what I'm saying, that there's calls to like add a stomper. If I add a stomper, I want to add another forest. So I could see cutting a swamp and a cascade seer to add forest and stomper. Oh yeah, it looks like I forgot an island. Thank you. I tried, didn't, misclicked or something. So I think this is what I'm going to try. This is exciting. Let's call it exciting. That's the thing. That's the thing, Funk. That's why I'm going with this. I don't think we can go to. I don't want to go to 7 swamps. Well, and my problem. Do you understand my problem with the stomper? I like. Let's say we go Belaged Recovery and Ambush as land, and we have those 2 as land, and then we stomper. I guess we can stomper 1 back and cast 1 of them. It's just like, it's just a bit too awkward. Just a bit too awkward. So I'm going to go with this. We were tricked. Tricked, I tell you. Trick or treat is good, but not straight up. Pun me on trick or treat. Trick or... Oh, do we already use trick or treat? Maybe so. Tricked is fine, though. Let's run this. Let's do this. It'll be fun, right? All right, some 2s. I can't wait to prove the 2s wrong. Bring me your 2s. Bring me your 03s. Besides, you know how the magic gods are. If we don't like this deck, I'm going to get like 5 wins. Well, certainly got the swamps we needed. I'm going to keep this, though. We can kill something that's 1 toughness. We don't need to get huge value out of it. We got some defense. 2 islands away from a Falconer, but we're heavy blue. We'll get there eventually. I'm going to keep. The hand stinks, he says. Well, we got a 2-drop removal and a 4-drop play, so I'm keeping. Ooh, now which one do we want? Probably want to play the recovery and keep the fight available. Colony does nothing for us yet. I have a powerful imagination. Yeah, we're gonna shrink the Hedron. Well, those of you who didn't like my keep, I wasn't asking for 2 more swamps, obviously. I think we are in pretty darn fine shape if we didn't get this unlucky on our draws. But we're also potentially okay if the sneak lives. If Oppo has removal for the sneak, we are very dead. Missing 2 colors. We were short on... I don't know. Yeah. Well, I said if they had removal, we were dead, and we were literally dead. For those of you who want a 2020 vision hindsight that and say we should have mulled, we had a subtle strike to handle anything they did early, and we did. And we had a 4-drop. That hand was fine to keep. That hand was, you could justify the mull, but I'm not going to say that that's some clear situation where I was supposed to mull there. I just don't want to be results oriented on that keep. You can, and to that end, I also don't want to say it's impossible for it to have been correct to mull. I'm saying that result doesn't disprove the keep. But we had a play. See, that's BS. Stop saying that. We had Subtle Strike. If we didn't have Subtle Strike, I wouldn't have done it. Now, yes, there was some risk there. Not everybody plays out a thing you can kill with Subtle Strike, but it was a real factor in that keep. Real factor in this keep is that we have Skulker on 2, we have Sentinel on 3, and eventually we have a kicked Arbor Mage. We are again out of blue here, but I am again going to keep here. Yeah, you're right. Saying anything they did early is incorrect, but the Subtle Strike was an important factor that people seem to be pretending was not in our hand. Got some blue too. That's nice to see. Still going to go and just play the ambush as land. Go Skulker into Sentinel. We have 2 Subtle Strikes, right? Yeah, so I like the Sentinel on a naked 3 because the double Subtle Strikes really give you a high chance of turning this into an attacker before the game is out. Jinx, if you're incapable of playing Subtle Strike unless you're also putting a counter on a creature, then you have a leak to plug, right? I mean, obviously, it was correct to do that there. This is rough, but we do have an Into the Royal, and now we have double land to eventually bounce it back. So, could even... they probably can't attack... they probably can't block with a Skulker. There's too many Flash Rogues, right? So... you know what? There's Silver, though. This is one of those spots where it's hard to know if the bluff is going to get there. For science, I'm going to bluff everybody. All right, it worked. I got Cardboard Live going. If it's not working, I can try restarting it. Let me know. Well, even Silver is not going to put their bomb rare at risk. It was the quality of the creature as well that you have to take into account. How many of you are putting your ooze at risk, knowing how many Flash Rogues there are in the format? Higher rank would have made it a much easier decision, but I was fine with that bluff. And now we could go with Sneak. Do you want to take one more smack from the ooze and play the Sneak, or just have the Royal ready? We do have Falconer coming. If we go Sneak into Falconer, we're going to lose to this thing. We don't... I guess Sneak and Sentinel can threaten a double block. I never count on that double block still being there, but we can try. We can put them to the test. Having the into the Royal in case of break glass in case of emergency, right? We can go plan A is to threaten a double block here. If they attack, we can decide if we want to trigger their traps. If it holds them back, then we can go into the Falconer knowing that they're not feeling comfortable attacking now anyway. All right, worked out fine. So now we will go with the Falconer play and continue threatening a double block down below. They didn't want to bluff an attack or represent anything last turn. Let's see if they want to do here. I mean, if we can untap with them having not attacked and us sending a Falconer while we keep into the Royal and all those things on D, that would be great. All right, so let's assume if it's a +3/+3, we get blown out and we get 2 for 1. But then we have an into the Royal. I don't know if we can take 9 here. Taking 9 seems a bit much. We could throw the sneak on the Scythe Cat and just see what they've got there. I think I like that, actually, because I would take this 1 for 1 if they want it. We have a into the Royal to reset the ooze. So we basically say, yeah, trade your kitty now or use your trick, and then we can reset the ooze after. Wow, no trick. So it looks like that was a straight up offer for the ooze. Zarasan is interesting here. We could end up Zarasan, draw a basic land, kick it, and get through with Zareth. Yeah, we can certainly, I mean, this has flash, so we can pass with all the mana up. I'm just wondering if also, do we send Falconer? I think the answer is yes. And then we see. Yeah, we can pack Beast, but then I guess we could pack Beast and know we have unkicked Royal if we really want. Into the Royal now, drawing a land, also interesting, but with the Zareth, I think we would want to do that on their turn. Maybe it doesn't matter, though. Yeah, I'm going to do it now. If we find a land, we'll play the Pack Beast and have an interesting spot next turn. I'm going to do that. So we can take the land and have the kicked Arbor Mage if we want it. I think we want the land, though, to play the Pack Beast and then the Zareth Sand. Yeah, let's just keep the land. Keep it. I'm going to keep it all. Yeah, I don't think we're kicking Taunt next turn. We're more trying to see if we can sneak Zareth into play. Oh, good. Was hoping you would do that. What are they doing, though? What is this about? We have a 2/3, and they're attacking with a 2/1. And they're tapped out. I am going to call. I call. I don't know what that was about, but here we go. Yeah, maybe a misclick. Definitely could have been a misclick. Just gonna do it this way. It's not quite GG, but it's close. And we get another Zareth. Zareth trigger, that is. Subtle Strike can make the Sentinel attack next turn. All right, we got it, because we can just throw a counter on Sentinel and get there in the air. Just going to do that. End it quick. There we go. Came up with a win. Oh, I said 1-0 when we were 0-1, right? Sorry. We're 1-1 now, right? Hopeful, wishful thinking on my previous record. Or did I win and I forgot? Yeah, that's right. Thought we lost. Wishful thinking. But now the record is correct. We got a lodged a win. Let's see what we can do here. Well, I'm keeping. Are we playing the recovery as green splash? Probably. I mean, you gotta use one to be able to do the others. But we could wait. We could wait and see what comes. We don't have to, Funk, because we do have the 4 lands. I mean, we are going to get to 4, no problem. So, yeah, I'm going to hold. I think we go basics here. Maybe we'll find our 1 forest. Hey! More evidence that I am Neo or something. I don't know. We're in the Matrix. Show him Sultitron. Yeah, but my point on that has been that the trouble with Stomper and Splash Splans is that you're stompering back your ability to cast them. In this case, no, but the trouble with 1 Stomper and 1 green Spland is that it doesn't work. It doesn't do what you want. Hold on, I gotta dig for the Vandal. Sorry, Oppo, I'll be with you in a moment.
To the extreme, I rock a mic like a vandal, light up a stage and wax a chump like a candle. Dance!
I also actually need to think this through, trying to provide the meme value, but we do have the possibility of 2 Subtle Strike versus 1 kicked into the Royal. And does it matter? I'm going to be kicked into the Royal, I think, is my plan. Well, let's just have 1 Subtle Strike or into the Royal. We'll have both, basically. What we don't have is double Subtle Strike. So I gave up on double Subtle Strike to have access to Into the Royal kicked or Subtle Strike and unkicked Royal. Yeah, I kind of just did my heuristic when I played the Forest was, spread, play all your colors, but it actually choked us a little bit here. Yeah, I wasn't gonna use 2 Subtle Strikes to take out 1 creature anyway. But the thing is, I can, if I want to go, I think I kick. Nah, we can't quite. No, we could be a little tricksy here if we want to, but we have to 2-for-1 ourselves. Yeah, I mean we can eat, but then it's an eat, right? It is an eat. I'm willing to eat. It's too late, but it checks. Doesn't it check after resolution? Doesn't it count? Number of warriors, like we get. I'm going to show you what I think happens. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I think this should work. It checks on resolution as well, basically. So costly, but we did. It was basically we used 2 spells, but got one for nothing. That was. Yeah, we do have a nice blocker, though. This is a really good thing to have here. And we can have Subtle Strike. We can recovery the... I like recovery on the Royal, and then have Subtle Strike for this turn. Yeah, there were some other things we could have done there, but I was confused by some things and just went with something I was pretty sure would work. I mean, at least it did. Yeah, we only had 1 black. So if your plan involved 2 strikes last turn, we were unable to do it because I had played that Forest. Now 6/5. If we shrink it and grow, we can make a 3/6. We can make a 5/4. It's still not enough to kill it. It would be enough to block it and not take damage, but not worth it. So I'm just gonna take the 6 here. Another Gomafada for another trick. Ooh, we got all sorts of tricks. Kicked into the Royal Subtle Strike or just a Zareth San. We could even send Zareth San knowing that we could make this Death Touch if they don't block. If they do... we can get a Gomafada Vanguard. I'm just going to hold here. We can even play Zareth San as Flash just to give the Stinger Death Touch if we wanted to do that. Wow. All right. 3. But we got actions. We got actions. We got action. We got action. Here we go. Let's let them start the attack. Well, again, you'll see. We have to decide. So we have probably a kicked into the Royal on a on the rider, and then Subtle Strike is going to let us eat, and then we have to take another big smack, but then we should be able to outlast that, right? Yeah. I like that. Same thing. Could block the Goma Fata, but I'm going to take out the big one. And now if we do the thing, then we lose the counters on the Stinger. So I'm just going to hold for a flash. You want the Seer, really? But this is bigger. I guess Seer blocks Baloth without kick, but don't we want to surprise him with Zareth San? I'm just trying to think about the Seer play. Why does Jinx want the Seer? I guess it's a more expendable blocker for these. But I think they don't know about Zareth San. We should try and get Goma Fata. And we can do the Goma Fata block... Zareth San block Goma Fata, Shadow Stinger on Baloth, turn Shadow Stinger Death Touch and trade for Baloth if we need to. Yeah, if they go kicked rider, swing in with everything, then we go to 1, but we're in a good spot there. It depends. If they felt like it was ensuring lethal, they would, right? If they were not playing around anything, they would go, sure, we'll give up the Goma Fata because we're getting around, right? And yep, we're gonna flash this in. Falconer is fine. Maybe we just want another ground thing though. Nah, we just play another big thing. Gotta say no attacks and stay on defense here. We could be 1 land away from being dead to like kicked Royal Eruption. I mean, that's why that card is so good. Like you face a red deck at 6 land on 5 life, and you don't really think you're going to win. You think they're going to play a land, and you're going to lose to a common. Okay. Brace yourselves. All right, so we can make the Stinger Death Touch, and that's all we can do. Right, let me make sure I actually have read my card. Tap another untapped rogue, Death Touch. All right. Yeah, the lack of a kicked rider is a bit sus, but we'll see. Hey, look, you don't have to play the game to pick up the slang. Well, at least I called it. Sometimes it gets salty because it seems like an opponent has slow rolled me, but in that case, I had 2 mana up. They were probably trying to figure out, make sure it was safe. Yeah, yeah. A lot of times I'll get mad about that kind of thing, but I have to remember that, like, if you've got mana up in cards, an opponent gets to think about it, right? Yeah, exactly. I don't think it was a slow roll. I think they were trying to make sure it was clear. Exactly. They were trying to decide whether to play into a known bland force. There are counters in the format they had to consider. Well, 1 and 2. Still feeling better than I did yesterday. One thing I noticed so yesterday I was having a bad mental health day, and it was impacting my play a bit. But I wanted to speak to for a second of why. One thing that occurred to me that was happening because of that is that I was really using chat as a crutch, which is easy to do because one of the things you sign up for with streaming is looking stupid. You're just signing up for it. You can't sit here and play a game in front of people and talk for 3 hours or however many hours and not say or do some silly looking things, especially like, how many times have you all been trying to tell me something in chat and I haven't been able to hear, I'm not aware of it. You all are screaming at me to the best of your ability, that kind of thing. You don't like to feel that way. You don't like to feel dumb on air. And I think one of the things that can happen, especially when I'm having a day like I was yesterday, is that I stopped playing my own game and I started letting chat tell me what to do. And at that point, boy, I need to reset if I'm in that spot, because it's really great to have chat backing me up and great to have chat trying to call out, Ryan, don't do it. Sometimes I hear you, sometimes I don't, but at least if I make my own mistake, I'm playing my game, thinking it through myself, making my own misclicks, making my own bad math mistakes, whatever, as long as, they're my own and I can own them. And it was a lot worse to be in a spot where I was just basically like, well, this board looks complicated. I'm just going to stare at chat till somebody there I like or trust tells me something to do, right? And when I realized I was doing that, I also realized I needed to kind of finish the event and be done. It's much better for me to accept looking a little silly by making some mistake that chat is screaming at me not to do than to give up my own autonomy and just let chat, wait for chat to do it for me. Anyway, I thought I'd call that out because I was thinking about it a lot yesterday. That part specifically, how in my poor mental state, I gave up my own game and stopped thinking about it. So, better for me to think through my turns, then check with chat, and play my game. This looks great, though. We're going to be greedy on the green again, though. Worked last time to give a little patience when we had the mana to do our turns anyway. And with here, we get Pack Beast into Wizard, and the looting begins. We can get rid of one of these islands, so it's a nice keep. And we're going to hold on to the recovery. Interesting. Check me. Is the animation for the lands coming out a little different? Hold on, let's see. I feel like lands are coming out differently. I might just be trying to find things with my brain, but it feels a little different. Yeah, there's definitely something different there. Anyway, not going to bluff my Pack Beast into a Survivor, because if I were Oppo, I would Snap Block. We're going to just Wind Rider here and pass. I don't need to 1-for-1 here. And all still looking good on holding the recovery, although at some point, maybe we just wait till we get one of our other green cards and decide which one to play as land. And it delays our green for a turn. That's fine. And I like having the kicked royal here. Might even just kick the constrictor, send it back, reset, get in. I mean, we're going to be doing... I'm not untapping without kicking the royal anyway. It's our 4-drop play, so I'm just going to do it now. Yeah, that's true. We don't even need the forest. Good call. I do. I stand up all the time. While streaming, anyway. While streaming. Yeah, let's just play Swamp and Flying Wizard here. Might offer the Pack Beast for the Scythe Cat. I would take that trade. So I'm going to play this and then offer the trade. And we'll take this, and I'm gonna cut our second Pat Beast and look to kick a Sentinel soon. Probably means I'm gonna play the recovery as land next turn. Those are the Lunchbox collection. Scale the heights. Making for a big kitty, but we're winning this race, so I'm not worried about that attack. Aha! Arbor Mage is a good reason to play this as land anyway. We can start with a Seer. See what's what. Always loot. I'm gonna ditch the island, even though we do need an island. We need 2 lands to kick the Sentinel, but I want Arbor Mage and Sentinel, so I'm gonna pitch the island, pitch the land. And then Vanquish. Vanquish is good enough because it gets the Constrictor. But it does say we don't Sentinel next turn. We could Arbor Mage next turn, though. So I'm going to keep this and then play the recovery as land. Get in. And I think we, again, offer the Pack Beast. We don't really care if it lives or dies here. Welcome to the stream, New York. Well, we lost our big wizard, but still have some action going on here. We are now kind of facing this growing kitty, but we do get the Arbor Mage next turn to chump if we need to. I'll get to the boxed in redemption coming up. Kept the Vanquish because I thought they'd go for the Constrictor here. We could just go Sentinel and unkick Sentinel and Vanquish for Constrictor potential, but we can also, like, I feel like if we attack here, they kind of have to block anyway. So maybe I am supposed to just go Sentinel to have some sort of chump, and then Vanquish to... Well, actually, yeah, maybe. I think we got to attack with both. And we don't need to Arbor Mage this turn, so I'm just going to attack with both to start. And then my whole plan was to try and kick the Sentinel, but now I like having this as a potential chumper and encourage them to play their Hogger Constrictor to get the Scythe Cat Menace, but then we vanquish the Constrictor to take away Menace and still make the chump. Too bad they're not at 5. Like, it would be nice if Arbor Mage represented, you know, lethal, but it's not going to do here. Speaking of... Interesting. Well, now we could potentially vanquish... I could just take this and vanquish and unfortunately not have lethal, but we would have double block for the kitty next turn. I'm going to risk it. Yeah, Subtle Strike could give us a win anyway. Hey, look at that. We'll take it. We'll take it. And now I might as well block. I don't know what they could win with here, but might as well block. All right. Crawling back. Crawling back. Yeah, I can reset Cardboard Live if that's not working. Looks like it's wigging out a little bit here. All right. Back to 2 and 2. Well, I had many predictors of this would be a 2-win deck, so those of you who had me on 2 or if not rooting for a loss, would at least be vindicated by a loss. We got a boxed-in redemption. We're going to move Peanuts to Battlestar Galactica. You got it. Peanuts to Battlestar. I have reset Cardboard Live. Hopefully it's working for all of you now. All right, I want 3 wins. I want to prove the 2 voters that we got 3 here. If you click on a redemption, it gives you information about it without having to actually spend. So you can just click on it. Yeah, the land stays up longer for one thing. It's like the land hovers just a little bit longer. This looks good for us. I'm going to offer the Pack Beast for Pack Beast attack first. I don't think they'll block. If they do, I'll go ahead and kill the Pack Beast, but I don't think they're going to block. And then I get to play Stinger next, and we can save the strike for later. All right, they're going for it. So if I knew they were going to block, obviously I just kill it first and get in for 3. I didn't think they were gonna. I was wrong, but I'm not going to trade Pack Beasts. I'm going to let ours live here. I mean, I could let them trade too. That's the other thing. Maybe I should. Now I'm suddenly thinking maybe we should just let them trade. Yeah, never mind. This is fine. We got rogues. Like, the only thing we need creature types for really is Zareth, or the rare. But we already have the rogues for that, so that's cool. Or, I guess Wizard is another payoff, but we have some of those. I did forget about this card, though, which is technically a Wizard payoff. And I am going to play this over the Sneak. This isn't going to be 4 power for quite a bit. This is 3 power in the air, so let's get the evasive 3 power. We can start with a Stinger attack. Yeah, it does make our alliance a little cheaper. They're not going to block, though, are they? Maybe. Maybe they're so worried about getting milled there. Yeah, as I say, I would think they were not going to block. A land off the top of the basic variety would be nice for the Falconer, but nice to know we have a Sneak or a Strike regardless. Nope, second Falconer instead. Let's see. We can save it. I'll go ahead and save it. Well, we're going to offer... We could play the Sneak and attack with both, knowing that we could Death Touch, but I think we just send the Diviner, and if they want to trade, that's fine. In fact, I play the Falconer and send the Diviner, and then we get a card out of it. Yeah, I guess we could have sent the Stinger, but... Yeah, that's true. Actually, I could have sent the Stinger. It was a free attack with the Stinger. For some reason, I was thinking it could die, but it was not at any risk to die, so I should have sent it. If we get a land untapped, we'll play Pack Beast and Sneak, but without it, I'm just going to keep dropping Falconers here. We could go Wizard Pack Beast. This gets more power. Well, this gets the same amount of power, too. How about start with an attack? I mean, you can if you want. I acknowledge it was a mistake. If you think it... you tell me. You all can decide what's punt-worthy. But, heck, even D didn't punt it. So either he's passed out on his couch, lagged by 5 minutes, or not really paying attention and is now suddenly going to snap to it because he heard D and punt. Like, what is a punt is the how many roads must a man walk down question of magic. What's our least? Now I actually don't like. I'm gonna give up the sneak and keep the strike and the falconer. Zoff consumption is not good for them right now and probably means we're going to cruise to a win. They could top deck something amazing, but if that's their play right now, they're in big trouble. I instinctively wanted to play the land because we don't have 2 black yet, but with Falconer and looting and stuff, I should hold. Let's attack first. Yeah, they could have the undo board wipe, so we should play around that. And to that end, though, I think I am going to play the swamp and hold. We do have double black spells, don't we? Maybe we don't have double black, I shouldn't even bother. Yeah, maybe we don't, and I'll just hold it all. Yeah, good point. If they mind drain, we want the Falconer. But I think our only loss here, the only realistic spell they could have that threatens our position is the board wipe, which is what we're playing around here. So we'll see. Yeah, they don't. That's not bad, but not good enough. Now I think we're pretty whatever. I'm attacking and we're gonna cast our subtle strike somewhere. They probably go for the wizard. We swap them unless we can win straight out here. So there you go. We can get this to 2. If they're at a virtual 8, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah. So we just shrink it and pump somewhere else and we win. So we're going to minus to reduce their life gain to 8, and then plus here to give us 8 attacking power. All right. Yeah, subtle strike getting it done. 3 wins. All right, I'm officially happy. I would have parred this at about 3. We have gotten away with the mana so far. No black yet, no early play. Do we have to mulligan this, or is the presence of turn 4 we're going first. We're on the Grumfries. I wonder if that's Dave Humphreys. I would expect he would have a gold, or, a mythic orange, but this is I think that's Dave Humphreys' nickname. Yeah, this is close. Any other opinions on keep or mull here? I mean, if we can get to 4, we get Seer into probably Falconer. We have other stuff. Yeah. Some keeps, some mulls. This is a tough one. This is really narrow. I'm greedy. Greedy! Yeah, if we were on the draw, I definitely throw that back. But on the play, if on the play we do our first play as Seer, that probably have some. We can probably still make this work.
Point is, ladies and gentlemen, that greed is good.
Let's see. We're not going to use any of these on this turn, so I'm still going to throw out an island here. Oh, Vanquish. A little bit late, but nice to have this, and that's why one of the reasons I kept is like we had a high likelihood of drawing something to cast before turn 4. We didn't. We also had the luck of not being heavily pressured. So we're going to go with the Seer here, though. I'm going to get on board rather than Vanquish the Wizard right now. With Subtle Strike, I like the Sentinel. We do need some more land eventually, but I'm going to keep the Sentinel on the strength of the Strike Sentinel combo. Might have to Vanquish the Diviner, which stinks because it draws him a card, but Diviner's pretty good if you got the Wizards to back it up. Get the card out of it. So in this case, I think I need to play a Recovery as land to have Vanquish. Well, we only have one black. At least it does give us Falconer next turn. Let's play Sentinel, and then, again, my question here is, do we play one of these as land? And I think so. I think we need to hit our land drops here. Well, now there's 2 Vanquish in hand, but I'm going to offer this if they want to trade and get a card off the Diviner. You know, it's not bad for them to block here. They absolutely get a 2-for-1. But I'm fine with this too. I'm happy to have that Wizard off the board. Yeah, I suppose I could have kept the Vanquish up and kept them off of that. I just didn't think they would block. But yeah, I should have Sentineled after. Bad sequencing on my part to not figure out my attack before casting spells. Do what I say, not what I do. Sometimes I get caught up in the not attack aspects of my turn and then mess up my proper sequencing on the attack front. So again, we do have the Subtle Strike play, but I'm going to go with the Falconer here and get, we have double Falconer to get going. They can't counter with this. I guess there's that one uncommon. Does it counter creatures? I don't think it counters creatures. I can't remember. It doesn't matter. I'm casting this. Worth a note. The pause is worth noting, though, because that usually means Shell Shield or Duelist, right? Yeah, I thought it was a negate type of deal. But we should expect Duelist or Shell Shield. Yeah, Chilling Trap, sorry. Duelist, Chilling Trap, and Shell Shield, all possible. And you're right, Chilling Trap most likely. Here, I'll give you a free trap since I forgot it.
You've activated my trap card!
It's a trap! It's a trap! It's a trap!
Yeah, Shield could be for Riptide, and Trap could be for Wizard. Well, if we think it's Shell Shield, we could go for the Vanquish, since on the Riptide, if we want, since Shell Shield wouldn't do it. Now Shell Shield would. Now they could kick it, so never mind. Never mind. Never mind. We could try and draw it out of them. We're at 13, though. We could take another smack from the Riptide, so I'm just going to play another Falconer. Good kicker deck from Oppo. Yeah, the constant 2 mana is so suggestive of the Shell Shield that we're playing around at this point. Didn't find a land. Kind of makes me just want to play the wizard here. The Wind Rider wizard, and have the Subtle Strike Vanquish plays up. So I'm going to do that. Sky Dancer is shields down window to get in the Vanquish on the Riptide, and I'm going to take it. I like Subtle Strike into the Shell Shield because then at least we get half value off of it. Oh, that's rough. Yeah, I mean, we can Battle get into Vanquish, but they still got a 2-for-1, which is rough. And we're kind of in the shields down. They haven't played the Riptide, so it's not going to attack us next turn. We got to drop Falconer and hope it lives. Another Subtle Strike. Are the Subtle Strikes more important than the Sneak? Given that the air attack is the biggest problem, we probably want Strikes more than Sneaks. Would you agree? I think we want to pitch the Sneak. I'm going to do that. If we decide for some reason we desperately need it, we can always get it back with this. On one swamp, we can only play one of these at a time. That's worth noting right now, but still nice to have access to both of them. We could also get back Vanquish if we needed to. Ouch! That could spell the end. This sure does feel like Dave Humphries to me. The result sure feels like my matches versus Dave Humphries. So now do we block with the wizard and make this trade? It's rough, but I think we have... what do we do? How do we win if we make this block? How do we win if we don't make this block? Yeah, that's true. It does. So we need a subtle strike to win against the falconer. We need this to not be the shell shield we think it is. That does mean we can still block here, and I think we have to. Second swamp at least allows for the double strike, which we may need here. Yeah. Although I could also recovery. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we could recovery and still double strike. Recovery is not an instant, so... Kill wizard while we can. Like, what do you mean? You want to minus this twice? I don't know. I think we need to try and trade sentinel. Falconer strike and sentinel is that plan. No, I don't think we double subtle strike. We need to deal with that falconer. I'm going to recover the. Yeah, I think Jinx has it right. We're going to recover the vanquish and pass. Oh, except I'm going to get messed over by the... I let auto tap get me. Sorry, gang. That's unfortunate. We still get the falconer play we want. We just don't get to kill the Sky Dancer as well. Oh, good, great. They didn't send the other stuff anyway. But it probably means this isn't going to work. So actually, I'm going to do this now. Although if this isn't going to work because they have the shell shield. So let's at least trigger that now before we declare blocks. The thing is, let's see, because then we might just pass this time. I think it's just the shell shield we've been seeing the whole time. But, let's find out. Yeah, certainly we don't think this is just going to happen. If this just happens, I'd be amazed. Nah, it wasn't full control either. It was only, there were pauses at very specific times, but not at all the times. You still get... It doesn't counter it, though. There's no reason not to do the -1, -1. I'm gonna say no blocks, though, and try to live to see next turn. If they'd only come up with the Riptide, we had a chance, but adding the Stalker pretty much makes this a done game. We have 2 spells in hand. We can cast both of them with every mana we've already got. Don't need to play the land. But we are going to die, I think. I can't see how to survive, but I know it starts with responding to the Seafloor Stalker with Vanquish. But trouble is they can do it, like, enough times to actually get around the Vanquish. Yeah, I guess maybe we're supposed to vanquish on my turn. I was trying to I was feeling like I needed to disguise my instance to get there, but it's now gonna make it so that this is tough to deal with. Although it's not completely donezo. First we go. Let's start here. See what that does. We lose, though. Yeah, should have done Vanquish on our turn, then we'd have a chance. As it is, they get to ignore this and respond either way. So, I'll do this, but Dave Humphreys, or fake Dave Humphreys, is going to get us. So had a chance there if I had main phased that Vanquish, got caught in my own duplicity of hiding my stuff, but hid my stuff to my own detriment. Still, I'll take 3 wins with that deck. Wasn't a good one. A rough splash with some medium cards at the bottom end, but our good cards got us there 3 times, so that's good. Yeah, also they knew about the Vanquish. They were playing around it. Let's see here. I'm going to hop to Soapbox and thank our YouTube friends for hanging out for that one. 3 wins. I'll take it. Not the best deck ever. Sometimes you slink away with a 50-50 record and feel decent about it. Bye, YouTube.